What's up, everybody? This is Pallet Town Smeargle coming at you with another Pokemon Omega Moving Up a Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. This time it's against Tojo. His Twitter link will be in the description below. You guys should check him out. And his YouTube channel will be down there as well. We just had this battle a little bit ago. It was my first attempt at an NU battle. So, I mean, my team building skills with this were not that great, and neither were some of the plays. I had no idea what some of these things wanted to do. Looking at his team, I can see Leavanny, which I think had, which before the battle I knew had, probably had Sticky Web and Wheezing, which I like to use as a wall, so I figured it would be a defensive wall as well. But I had no idea what some of these other things wanted to do. So let's jump in here and see some of the, I don't know, not as great plays that I made, but Ken certainly played really well. And it was a really good match. It was a close 2-0 loss for us, which, you know, that's fun. Like, I don't mind uploading losses to the channel at all. Like, wins, losses, like, all that stuff happens. And so, alright, so I lead off with Rocksteady, and he leads off with Leavanny. So, like, common leads for both of us, stuff we both pretty much knew was going to happen. So I switch out because I should have just set up my rocks right there. That was terrible thought on my part, but because I thought maybe he was going to go for the grass type move, but Sticky Web was the obvious thing, and I should have just set up my Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks actually would have played a huge role later on in the battle and actually could have got us the win. So he goes out to Raichu here, and I put up a substitute, thinking that maybe I can, you know, get some setup on this thing, you know, because I run substitute, shift gear, gear grind, and volt switch. So I thought, well, I'll set up substitute, and I know he'll switch, so I should be able to get something on. But he actually has Encore on his Raichu, which I was not expecting. But it just threw me off. Like, it was Encore, so I was like, what is this thing trying to do? I had zero clue whatsoever. And so I have to switch out because I'm Encored into substitute. So I got into Rocksteady, thinking, well, I'll try to get screens up or something. And he goes for Nasty Plot. So this is a setup Raichu, Encore, Nasty Plot Raichu. I guess, you know, maybe setup stuff is pretty common in NU. I don't know, like, this is my first time playing. So he goes for Thunderbolt, and that does a huge chunk of damage. And he has Life Orb as well, so really powerful. So I knew I had to set up a light screen when I saw the Nasty Plot, just to kind of even things out. And he Encores me into light screen here. I don't know why I stayed in and tried to go for Stealth Rocks. I just needed to. I just figured maybe he'd try to get the KO. So now I have to swap out and go for Band-Aid. And I go into Band-Aid here because I know this pretty much walls it because, yeah, if he wants to go for T-Bolt, it pretty much walls. If he wants to... I don't know what his fourth move is. His fourth move, theoretically, could have been Hidden Power Ice at this point. But I didn't know. I just figured, I was like, just show me what you got. Because I think I could live in HP Ice because I'm behind the light screen. So I go for Earthquake because I completely forget about this Wheezing. And as you can see on the screen, Levitate. Completely forget about it. So I swatch out and go out to Happy Dance by Ludicolo. Because I figure I can do some nasty stuff to this thing, you know, because it's probably a physical wall. It doesn't have that great of special defense. He actually goes for the Toxic Spikes. And this matters so much, you guys. These entry hazards on his side, on my side of the field, and not having anything up on his side of the field, just, it just frustrated me. It made it every play like a grueling mental decision to think out. And I go for Scald, and that's not a crit, and I was kind of hoping and praying for the burn, because that would have been nice, but you see we don't get it. And you know, that's okay, you know, I don't want to hope and pray for hacks, but he withdraws Wheezing, and goes out to his Licky Licky here, which I'm pretty sure is his special wall, but we're choice specs Ludicolo in this Scald, so it should still do a lot of damage to it. You see it does just about half, because of the crit. And we don't get the burn again, which is, you know, I really wanted to get residual damage off of this thing. I don't have any statusers on my team, so I kind of just want to play a little bit aggressive with a decent wall core. So I withdraw Happy Dance because I don't know what this thing wants to do. I should have stayed in, just in retrospect, but I go out to Band-Aid here, because I have Focus Punch, I'm a sub-Focus Punch, Golurk, and I figure stab-wise, he's not going to be able to do much to me, and if this thing runs Gyro Ball, which I don't know why it would because he's got Sticky Web, you know, the Sticky Web will help out, and Golurk's pretty slow as it is. And I think this thing gets Power Whip, so it was probably a bad switch in on my part, but also I don't want things to get Toxic Poison if he's able to go out to Wheezing. So I go for Focus Punch, and just because I'm like, if he has Protect, he'll show it to me right now, which he does. I should have taken that opportunity to just swap out to my Gramble because it has close combat, and it could have just straight murdered this thing right away. But that's okay. It was a misplay on my part. Like I said, I don't know what things in here want to do, but that's alright. You know, I'm learning. I want to play some of this lower tier stuff because it's like Pokemon I never get to use. Like, I never see Licky, so I go ahead and put up my substitute in case, because this thing's Wish Protect. And when I see Wish Protect, I think Toxic. So he goes ahead and hits me with Dragon Tail, which isn't going to do much. So the substitute takes the damage, and we heal right back up with some leftovers. You know, we're not going to heal all the way back up, but we're going to get some, you know, just kind of counterbalance this little minor poison that we have from the one layer of Toxic Spikes. And so he withdraws Licky, and here I should have gone for Focus Punch. I should have gone for it, but he goes out to Wheezing, and I went for Earthquake, just thinking, like, I can probably kill this thing. He's probably gonna, you know, maybe he'll swap out to Raichu to get some damage off and Encore me or something. Which, I don't know why I thought that. I should have just gone for Focus Punch, because we would have hit this Wheezing and killed it, and not had to take a turn here of poison damage. Or we would have taken a turn of poison damage, but we wouldn't have had, you know, this thing out. This thing wouldn't have set up a second layer of Toxic Spikes. So that misplay there, and the misplay at the beginning of not setting up our Stealth Rocks, probably cost us this game. So we go ahead and go for Shadow Punch and knock out Wheezing. And so down it goes. I hate to see Wheezing go down because it's like one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. And but, you know, sorry buddy. Had to do it. You know, can't just lose because I like the Pokemon on the other side of the screen. So Band-Aid takes some poison damage. He goes out to his Leavanny because it would resist the move, my stab. So I take damage from the X-Scissor, substitute fades, and I hit this thing with a Shadow Punch. I couldn't remember at the time if Bug resisted Ghost, which obviously it doesn't, because we do well up to half on this. I figure, well, we're dead, so it's probably got Leaf Blade, which means we're going to go down here. So I go for another Shadow Punch. He goes for Leaf Storm and misses. That miss was critical here, but I mean, you know, Leaf Storm's not a 100% accuracy move, so I mean, that can happen from time to time. That just stinks. You know, I've gotten a little lucky in this match, and with the luck kind of balanced out my misplays a little bit at the beginning. And you know, with this luck and if we had made the plays correctly, and you know, hindsight being 20/20 and everything. So he goes out to Raichu and reveals that he actually does in fact have Hidden Power. It's either Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Ghost or Hidden Power Dark or something, because he knocks out Golurk. I don't know why he didn't go for that right off the bat and why he wanted to swap out to Wheezing. Maybe he thought I would have lived. So I go out to Clockwork here, and he goes for Thunderbolt. I just figure I have a lot of HP and I can go for a Gear Grind and get some damage off, and kinda, I just want to get a little Life Orb damage off and get some chip damage off with Gear Grind. Because it does hit twice, and it's a decently powerful move, this stab. And the first one scores a crit. The second one doesn't, which is okay, but that still does a decent amount of damage. He still would have been down to about 30%. And this is where having Stealth Rocks would have meant a lot, because this Raichu's down so low. So I go out into Rocksteady, just to, one, it's going to get poisoned. This thing is kind of useless at this point. It'll get taken out by a Thunderbolt, but the most important thing is I was going to get Life Orb Recoil on this Raichu, which you can see here brings him down to the red, which means if he swaps in, if I had Stealth Rocks up, would have definitely taken him out. So I got to Vivillon here because it's Choice Scarves and I know we'll outspeed, because there's no way this thing's outspeeding us. And he goes out to LA Noir. Now, I make a misplay here by going for Bug Buzz when I should have gone for Hurricane, because we do have Compound Eyes. Bug Buzz does like 7.5 damage to this thing, and I have to swap out because we're Choice Scarf. Had I gone for Hurricane there and not made the misplay of going for Bug Buzz, things would have turned out differently, but like I said, there's nothing we can do to change it now, so I'm not really grinding myself on it, I'm not really upset. So he goes for Trick and gives us his choice band, and we give him our choice specs. So that kind of hurts Happy Dance here. He's not so happy anymore, and his dance is slowed down because he's burned. But, you know, like I said earlier, there were some misplays, and I'm learning, so I'm actually not too upset about the fact of the misplays I made. This is still a good match. We still made it a 2-0 loss for us, but yeah, so we scalded this Licky Licky, and it's not going to do as much anymore. And we actually snagged the burn here, which is nice, because I think this thing took 3 scalds now, so I think we have a 30% chance to burn, so that makes about sense. So we're going to kind of take away a little bit its leftovers recovery, which is good. So Happy Dance is kind of... I'm not going to leave Happy Dance in here against this thing, so I'm going to go for one more Scald just to get some damage off, because I know it's going to go for Wish again, and I can get some damage off on it. I wish we weren't choiced. Had I known he was going to swap out to Licky Licky, I would have gone for Focus Blast, because we do pack that on here. So at this point, I'm going to swap out Happy Dance and look for an opportunity to swap it back in on this Licky Licky, because I know Focus Blast could do some serious damage to it. But I kind of have to wait for that LA Noir to be gone. So I go out to Underbite my Gramble, because it's packing Play Rough, Bulk Up, Close Combat, and Return. So we get the Intimidate off on this thing, which really doesn't matter. We're lower than our speed. Gramble's pretty slow anyways. And he goes for Dragon Seal, which doesn't affect us because we are a Fairy type. He gets his Wish back, which is good for him. You know, get your Wish. I kind of wish I had gone for Scald, because we might have actually, you know, had we gotten a crit, might have taken this thing out, and the Wish would have, well, the Wish would have got dropped on whoever he swapped in for, which could have been that Raichu. So he goes for Body Slam, and actually the Intimidate kind of pays off because it does like no damage to us. And I go for Play Rough, just thinking maybe he'll predict the Close Combat and go out to the Dust Noir, which he doesn't, and I regret so much not going for that Close Combat. But I made the safe play. You know, I'm trying not to over predict because it's cost me a little bit here and there, so I'm just trying to go for the safe play of, you know, just getting damage off on this thing with its full Wi-Fi on its stomach. So he gets hurt by his burn, we get hurt by Toxic. He goes for Protect. I figure, you know, okay, he's gonna protect his Scout out, because if I do have Close Combat, I would go for it now. So I actually go for another Play Rough to make him think I don't have the Close Combat. Which, you know, is kind of a good play, but it would have been a good play a little bit earlier on, had this situation arise, because I could still take him out with a Play Rough, but I decided to go for a Close Combat just in case he goes out to his other Pokemon, which is his Girder, which again, Play Rough would have done more damage, but Close Combat still would have done a huge chunk to this thing. He doesn't think I have it, so we hit him with a Close Combat, takes him out. Wish is going to come in on whatever he swaps in next, which is going to be that Raichu. Now, had we had Stealth Rocks up, I'm pretty confident on switch in, this Raichu would have died, which would have meant it wouldn't get the Wish. And so the Wish will go to something else. And so we're hurt by our Toxic Poison. He goes out to Raichu. Yeah, looking at that sliver, it either would have been down to so low HP that Wish wouldn't do much. But he goes for Thunderbolt, which takes out Underbite here, our Gramble. Good job, buddy. You did your job. And because with Life Orb Recovery and Stealth Rocks, that thing would have been dead. Like, no questions about it. So I go out to Vivian here because I know that we outspeed, and so I go for a Hurricane on it, and he withdraws Raichu. Goes right out into LA Noir. I don't know if he doesn't know that I have Hurricane or not at this point, but I was like, let's see how much Hurricane can actually do. Hurricane is going to do a huge amount. It's going to do like a solid 50% to this Dust Noir, and we actually get the Confusion, which pays off here because we go for another Hurricane, and we get low rolled to where he lives on 1. And the Confusion's going to go ahead and take him out here. He's going to hit himself in Confusion, which is nice. Because, you know, that low roll, you know, it really didn't matter. The Confusion hacks there didn't matter. So he goes out into Raichu. I'm choice Scarfed into Hurricane, so I'm kind of hoping we can get a Confusion or a crit here. I don't think this is going to kill because it's resisted. Had we gotten a crit or a Confusion, this would have turned out a little differently. So, yeah, Thunderbolt is going to take us out, which is kind of sad because Vivian here would have been a huge help against his Girder, which is his last Pokemon. So I go out into Happy Dance. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. We get caught in a Sticky Web, which stinks. And I just go for Ice Beam. I go for Ice Beam here thinking that's the strongest move and we can get some serious damage off. I didn't want to go for Scald because I think it's resisted by Raichu, and I could have gone for Energy Beam, Scald would have been a huge help, though, if we had gotten a burn off of Scald on this girder. Things may or may not have turned out different. So I go for another Ice Beam because we're Choice Banded. Choice Banded Ludicolo, new meta, onto this girder. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And he goes for Bulk Up, so now I'm like, okay, he's got Mach Punch. He's just going to take us out on this next turn because Burn is going to put us within Mach Punch range. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, we're in Mach Punch range. And that's great, you know. He played really well to finish off with his priority move. So down we go, and I go out into my Clockwork here. And Clockwork's going to get easily mollywopped by a Mach Punch. So, bye-bye. Knocking down the gears. And so that was such a great match. Thank you so much, Tojo. You guys, please go check out his channel, go check out his Twitter link. Both will be in the description below. Hopefully me and him can get some more stuff up on the channel if he wants. You know, maybe we can do something in this tier again. If any of you want to get a battle, follow me on Twitter, tweet at me there. That's kind of how I'm going to set this stuff up. My Twitter link will be in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because you know your support is greatly appreciated and we want to grow this channel. Thanks again, Tojo, and all that being said, this is Pallet Town Smeargle, signing out.